What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Mihir's Trading Journey. This is your host, Mihir, and it's always great to have you guys here. Guys, first things first, we are back full-fledged live streaming. We got the camera setup going on. We got the charts up. We got everything going on, guys. This is going to be great. I feel like hopefully this gives me consistency to work with, right? I got something to work with here. Hopefully you guys are liking the new setup. I'm just trying to, like, always change some things in the setup, making it much more I guess appealing, but also like at the same time much more effective for my trading as well, in both ways, for you guys to learn easily and feel part of the stream yourself. But guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Mihir, and it's always great to have you guys here. First things first, guys. Okay, right now it's 9:32, so markets have opened up. Took me a couple minutes to get something set up here real quick. Right now you guys obviously see on the bottom right I have simulated account set up, so if you guys are actually looking on the right hand side on the trade panel, you can see that is simulated account. This is because I was setting something specific up last night and I didn't want to obviously take trades on my real accounts. So just really quickly, I want to go over that, right? I kind of want to start a new series, almost, you can say, and this series is basically going to be about trying to get to payouts, right? And I want to actually like finally do a payout on stream, which would be, I think, really cool, right? Like, actually remember when we used to do like racks to riches? I actually never did a payout on screen, which is something that, I thought about, and I was like, maybe it's going to be useful if I can actually do something on the live stream, right? In terms of payout, it'd be cool to like actually show you guys the Apex dashboard and then show you guys that I'm requesting a payout. I think that'd be cool, right? So wait, give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I was just grabbing some water. So I want to actually take the next step actually and show you guys how to request payout / like, when you should be taking out payouts, when I take payouts personally, and actually like guide you through that step, right? So in order to do that, I'm also obviously going to I started off with brand new 5 accounts because I finally ended up blowing up about 7 of my accounts that I had under my personal name, trading under my personal name, not my business account, my personal trading account. And unfortunately, it is what it is. But we took a lot of payouts from them. We are happy, we are satisfied with how those went. And yeah, that's that, guys. So I'm replacing those with 5 brand new style accounts that Apex has. I've never had that before, right? So I'm trying to get the brand new style, the end of day trailing drawdown style, and I think they guarantee you 6 payouts. I think you might be able to take out more because they're a little bit more lenient with that. You can take out more, but like now they have a number, right? They're gonna allow you 6 payouts, right? So you don't actually think ahead past 6 payouts, right? Because you don't want to be upset if they don't allow you to that. But hey, that's what we're gonna try to find out on this stream, right? We're gonna try to find out how many payouts we can get away with on Apex and how many payouts we can get to in the first place with Apex accounts, right? That being said, guys, I have 5 brand new accounts for you guys, right? So these are past accounts. I did pass them already because the whole point, again, for this series is not to show you guys continuously how to pass challenges, which is what I was doing on Racks to Riches. Now that that's declared and we can do it multiple times, not only that, we can, I've shown you guys many times how to, like, keep your accounts with you, keep your challenge phases and pass them. Now it's time to actually take it a step further, right? Let's get to payouts. So for that, here, let me just open up real quick my accounts here. So on the top, if I go to accounts, so these are the 5 payout accounts that right now I have on a separate account, right? This is a separate account from my business account, by the way. And so what we're gonna do is, if you guys remember this, we created on stream actually a long time ago, this trade copier here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove all our other accounts and we're gonna use the latest 5 accounts that we got, which was actually, I believe it's 35, 36. Yeah, it is 37, 38, and 39. And I wanted to do all of this on stream actually, guys, is because it's going to be cool, I think, to, again, go from having basically no payouts on these accounts, these 5 accounts, to actually like getting payouts on all 5 of them. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's a pretty unique thing. And again, payout, even when I request a payout, I think I'm going to request it live on live stream. So I'm going to have to figure out how to like hide my obvious like credentials and stuff when I go through the dashboard and whatnot. But once we can do that, I think it'd be really cool. By the way, here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings, and I'm just going to go into simulated accounts, and I'm just going to turn off both of them. So we're actually trading with our real accounts now at this point. And so if we go into the pay accounts, these are the past evaluations, right? So these are going to be accounts that are live funded right now, guys. Again, if you guys are joining in right now, first of all, welcome to the stream. We've got a whole new camera setup going on. Of course, I'm going to be messing around with it, still kind of like, you know, getting little things in place and whatnot. But hopefully this gives me the opportunity to continue being, continue streaming more consistently. But that's also being said, I also wanted to say that, you know, we're going to go through this whole profit thing, getting to payouts, taking payouts live on stream, guys. My whole idea is to like be as transparent as possible, and even more transparent going forward, if I wasn't already transparent enough, right? So now we're going to be taking payouts on live stream, guys. That's the idea. The idea is that we take our funded accounts, these are 5 brand new funded accounts, and we're going to take them to payout level, right? So in order to do that, right now we're at 50,000 in balance. We need to get to 53,100 to get them to basically break even, and the trailing drawdown from stop the trailing drawdown from following us. I don't have words. And then eventually getting past that, and then above that, and being able to take profits out. And now I'll be showing you exactly the method I use to take these profits out, when I take it out, and how I schedule those things. So basically, you guys have a good blueprint on maybe like implementing some of those strategies, or ways of thinking about payouts in your own arsenal, right? So I think we've done a lot of trading setups. I think we've done a lot of passing evaluations, and I think we've done a lot of maintenance of funded level accounts. And now it's time to actually work towards payouts and show you guys all of that kind of gist of things, right? That side of things. So again, we got 5 brand new accounts, guys. I ended up blowing up 7 of my personal accounts. Yes. After taking, slowly but surely, I was cutting down on the profits, because I was taking those profits out, and then some of the losers we took back to back. You guys saw it all live on stream. I don't really hide anything. So again, those losers plus withdrawing money had a lot of cushion in those accounts, obviously too, but some of those accounts blown up, right? So now we are with 5 brand new accounts. Again, these are funded level. I just want to nail that in your head, because going forward with the series, the whole point is to getting to payouts, and the payouts are going to happen on accounts that you guys are following along with from the beginning. Obviously, I have other accounts still, guys. I still have other accounts that I trade. There's my business accounts, and a few of my other personal accounts are still there. And obviously, I have accounts with other prop firms too, not just Apex. So yeah. So let's see what we got. So right now in the market, right, we don't have much to do. We're just waiting out the first 15 minutes. We got 5 more minutes, guys, before we are clear to trade. And then we shall see what we have. Right now, we're just shooting right back up towards the VWAP. If we actually scroll out a little bit, this is something that I actually did want to talk about. If we scroll out on the 5 minutes chart, yesterday, the market was obviously going down. Day before yesterday, the market was going down. I had actually really good days yesterday and day before yesterday, and those are the only 2 days I traded off stream. I typically don't trade off stream. I've been saying that for a very, very long time, but obviously I'm trying to be transparent here. Those are the only 2 days I've ever, some of the only few days that I've traded off stream, and especially those 2 days, yesterday and day before yesterday, because again, I was trying to get my accounts to funded level, these 5 accounts. Again, if I'm, if I'm actually trading my personal accounts the way I trade, it's not that hard to get these accounts to funded levels. Much of these accounts to funded levels. You guys have seen it on stream as well. We've gotten accounts like we're being very, very conservative on streams most of the time, and we still get like accounts funded within 5 to 6 days, right? At worst case scenario, if we have good days back to back. And I've had wonderful days yesterday and day before yesterday's, because obviously once you catch those trends, and I mean they're really good, right? You get away with a lot of stuff. What I did want to say was that today the market has fallen to a new low in the last few days, right? And we want to see if we can like kind of bounce back upwards. I don't know if we have a daily support here. I'm not too sure. Let me just check real quick here. Kind of, we have this like kind of rotation that we had, this pullback on the short side, at the level of 29,370. It seems like 29,370. Yes. So maybe we'll see something from there. I mean, we are currently bouncing off of it. Now, question is, do we hold for the day right there? Right. My theory is yes, probably, if we're looking at just price action. If we look at just price action, we can go back to 5 minutes and we can see that, first of all, we are overextended to the downside on this trend, right? We had this push upwards like last week, right? And then we pull back down, and we've actually not only recovered that entire move upwards to the downside. Now we are also like now pushing past that trend, right? And so I think the recovery is a little bit due here, at least 50% of the way back up to what we had before. And then we can possibly continue crashing, right? But just based off of price action itself, it seems like we should be taking a push upwards today. However, there's only a couple ways to find that out, right? Again, as scalpers, we don't really go with a long-term bias or a daily bias. We go with what we see in the market, what market produces for us, right? So we'll see what happens. Also, I want to say, it's possible. Is it possible that we continue the move downwards? I mean, it's always possible to continue the move downwards because it is a downtrend, but the short-term trend is upwards, right? So the most recent trend is upwards, and we also can see that we have overnight inventories, and overnight inventory play is actually happening almost picture perfectly, right? Again, I only play overnight inventories with a couple of things in mind. One of the biggest thing is obviously it should look picture perfect for me to take it. And another thing that I really like think about sometimes in taking these trades is like, how often am I actually winning these trades, right? If I've had like a really bad week last week, I'm probably not going to be taking trades with overnight inventory, something as risky as overnight inventory strategy. It's just not going to happen probably for the next like week or 2 weeks, right? It's just something like I do mentally, and it actually helps me like stop me from taking really bad trades, and also continues to hold my, like, emotionally I stay in a better place when I try not to push myself with a very risky kind of strategy when I've taken trades or bad trades in the past week, right? So kind of like that, like it's a way to like kind of recuperate, rejuvenate, and all sorts of things, whatever you want to say, right? So it is 9:45, guys. We are clear to trade now officially. All right, guys, let me know if the background music or anything is like way too loud. My microphone sounds excuse me, a bit weird or something. If it doesn't, then awesome, but if it does, let me know. Don't hesitate to tell me. Again, like, I'm still trying to fix the stream and stuff. This is a whole new setup, and just, yeah, all sorts of different things. Anything can happen, right? Actually, let me just go back into full screen here on my trading charts, because I just love the cleanness that I found. Like, this is, guys, look at this. Okay, if I press F8, everything cleans up on the charts. Look at this, all the menus just disappear. I just love this about Motive Wave. I haven't seen like much platforms do this actually. Everything just disappears. You can see even the tabs for the charts themselves disappear. It's really cool. Like, you don't see like 3 minutes tab or something like that. Like, let me show you real quick. So if I press F8 again, you guys can see like this is 55 tick tab. This is the 1 minute tab. If you follow my mouse cursor, 5 minute tab, and then 2 minute, 3 minute tab here. But if I actually press F8, cleans it up. So You know, by default, if you press F8, it's going to try to clean up as much as possible, but there's certain things you can turn on and off that can make it even cleaner. But yeah, I just love this setup now, honestly. Okay. I mean, we're getting the return. We had that wick that we printed to the upside. We're returning that 100%. That means that we probably have some more juice to go down. We got some liquidity down here, actually. 29,310 does have liquidity here. 50 contracts. 50 contracts, 945. We are clear to trade. It looks like we got some more juice to the downside. That being said, I am going to check out if we do have any news here real quick. Okay. So we have, what do we have actually? We don't really have much. Leading index change month over month, 10 o'clock. I mean, this is American Eastern time, guys. Again, if anything, that's 15 minutes, 13 to 15 minutes from now. I don't think that really matters to us, honestly. What does matter is tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. We got the S&P PMI final, and we also have the manufacturing PMI. So we're gonna have to see how the market behaves. Market might behave a certain way because of that today as well. But other than that, like today, we don't have a catalyst in itself. It doesn't seem like. Okay. So what do we got going on? So we're pulling back under that wick. Yeah, it makes sense. We got a little bit more juice to the downside. Are we putting in some liquidity up here too now? Maybe. Not really. I think we just continue to deteriorate. We got the 310s first, the 300s first, and then we got the 250. I don't know how many contracts that is. It doesn't really matter, right? We have it visually set up for a reason. Okay, we are getting to the bottom of that previous wick, which was the second 5-minute candle wick. And we're trying to fill that up. Any supports here? Not really. Not a really good support. A little bit of support from the pre-markets here. A couple of supports here, but they're not really that great. A lot of waiting, guys. A lot of waiting. It's all about patience. It's all about patience. Just chilling and waiting for that perfect setup. Okay, pull back to 340s kind of makes sense here at this point, right? Not 340s. I meant to say 320s. The cycle level of 320s. Bottom of the pre-market low as well. The last pre-market low was around the 324s. I probably see this. We probably see this coming down there. A little bit of a pullback right now. Buyers are trying to hold up. I'm not sure if that's going to continue to push back up. We do have point of control all the way up here, which is a little bit weird. Point of control, and you know, the value area should be moving down alongside the price. Otherwise, we can always just snap right back into the range, right? So we'll see. Like we would ideally, even if the range stays up here, the value area low and value area high, we want to see the point of control actually flip to the bottom of that value area and value area low and value area high. So like right now it's at the top, right? The top side. I want to see it on the bottom side. Because if we want to see a significant seller's push, we want point of control to back it up basically. Otherwise it's kind of like an empty push and you don't really want to like risk that too much. Part of our strategy that, you know, we talk a lot about on the stream too. So yeah, so I mean, it looks like just buyers are going to support it, right? We got to 50s, we didn't get to 20s quite yet. So I have a question now. Like the question that's running in my mind is like, are we going to even get to 20s at this point? Because again, as long as the point of control doesn't flip, I don't know how aggressive sellers could be. I mean, they're trying their best right now. We're breaking the wicks. or at least one. We're gonna break another. Hey, we broke another wick. Okay, sellers are continuing to push. Nice. Okay, we got the 40 that we talked about, and we need the 20 that we were talking about, right, originally. And that's when we could see possibly that buyers could step in at the 20s. We do have liquidity at 300s as well, the nearest hundreds. And so it's possible that we push through the 20s, break that floor, and then immediately go to 300s too. Again, we're not taking any trades there. Honestly, we're gonna be waiting a little bit more. There was that liquidity that popped up there at the 550s. I don't know if you guys were able to see on the right hand side on the 1 minute chart. Anything that I see, by the way, guys, you guys can see as well on the right hand side. I'm trying to point it the right way on the camera. Yeah, so if you see on the bottom right where my cursor is, you guys can see these spikes. These are the spikes that I'm talking about when I'm talking about liquidity, right? So these are actual DOM numbers just charted visually onto the charts. Just remember that. So if you guys are ever wondering what those things are, that's literally the depth of market, you know, the ladder that you usually see, except it's not the ladder, it's actually visually just printing bars of that number on the chart itself. I love seeing it that way. I don't like the numbers. They give me panic attacks. Okay, there it is. We are at 330 / almost 320s right now. We most likely hit 320s right now. Question is, does the market continue selling off until we get the PMI for tomorrow? That's a possibility, right? We might be trading for the PMI tomorrow. That's maybe the case here. Not sure. Just speculating on that. Let me just check real quick. Do we have any daily support going forward from here? I mean, we got support all the way down. Like we got the wick, the daily order block here, all the way down at 28,730-ish. That's a long way down. 730, 720-ish. It's a long way down. Not that Nasdaq can't do it. It's just, I'm not sure if it wants to. Clearly, it looks like it wants to, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Guys, while we wait for a setup, I'm going to take this time to just ask you guys if you are enjoying what you're seeing, any strategies, any kind of things you're learning from the stream, taking away from the stream, whether that's learning from my stupidity or, you know, something that I'm saying is adding to your own arsenal. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. You know, obviously like and subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I go live every single morning. At least I try to. I mean, recently, as of last couple of months, I've been very inconsistent. But going forward, I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. I did get my camera to work too. Gives me a little bit more, you know, time or, you know, a reason to go live every single morning now, because I can actually interact with you guys. So it's going to be cool. And also, you know, don't hold back from chatting away. Ask me any questions you have and I'll be more than willing to answer them. Obviously keep it appropriate and that's that. Okay, we are pulling back up, guys. We did take support off of the 310s. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like the 320s, but because the momentum was so heavy, we kind of pushed through that floor. Again, we barely, like, we could have touched 300, but we didn't want to, I guess. And we pushed right back up. Buyers came in and they're holding it up. I mean, I would see this. It'd be really surprising if we don't see a 50% retracement on this wick first before we start going back up again, back up into this range. But if we do continue this push upwards, then buyers possibly have taken over the market, honestly. And we probably see the bottom out for the day. So are we gonna retrace before retracing? If you get what I'm saying. Maybe. Seems like it a little bit. Yep, we're at 29,397. Point control did move, so we're rejecting off the point control. So this is the, like, if we get this pullback, we get that 50% retracement on that wick, on the red candle wick that we had on the 5 minutes, and then we continue to move upwards. That'd be a much healthier move. But that will also tell us if the sellers are going to step back in or not, right? Because if we moved up and recovered this entire red candle move that happened to the downside but back up to the upside, that would mean that buyers have just taken over the market at that point, right? We would have seen the bottom out for the day. Right now, we're pulling back. We see the 50% retracement. Now, if buyers actually move back up, that's going to be a very, very healthy move to the upside now. But right now, we also can see that sellers can take over because it's so close, right, to the bottom, that sellers might just give it that extra push, and then we can go for the liquidity down here. So again, we just got to wait and see what happens. At 29,330. We got Bob, excuse me guys, we got Bob McAllister in the house. What's up, man? What's up? What's up, Bob? Welcome back to the stream. It's been a bit, but we're back. Bob asks, why does the sky change colors? Listen, you want to go the non-magical route, or you want to take the magical route? It's up to you. I can give you both answers. It's up to you to decide. You want the unicorn route? Okay. Basically what happens is when unicorns poop rainbows, that's when the color of the sky changes. It's based off of which color is pooped out more. That's just simply how that works. Simply how that works. Like, there's no questioning it. Like, come on. What do you think? Leprechauns aren't real? You don't find the gold at the end of the rainbow? And what do their horns do? Oh, that is what creates lightning. That is what creates lightning. They pierce right through the clouds, making the static electric. Actually, I'm getting too scientific again. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, something happens with their horns and just zaps. Boom. That's how lightning is created. Thunder is the farts.
Now connected to War
What am I saying? And my Alexa's going off. Nice. It's like Alexa was so sad at my explanation that she just went off. All right, 29,367. We are moving back into the range. Buyers might officially take over now, guys. Buyers might officially take over. We need the break up past this previous move that we had, the wick on the 5 minutes. And we are pushing past, trying to get back to the highs near the VWAP. Once we touch that VWAP, buyers have taken over the market for the day, by the way. So, I mean, at least that's what my analysis says. Bob asks, what are some key levels? I mean, some key levels that I would look out for, which, like, actually, some of them actually touched already. I was saying the 320s and 300s could be a couple of key levels, and we're kind of like supporting off of those right now. The next step would be to see if we can break past the 420s. If we break past the 420s, we are aiming for the VWAP, right? And VWAP is really the key level today to see if we can, like, actually get the buyers to take over the market, right? If we actually continue this move upwards, get to the VWAP, you know, get past it a little bit, say like maybe at 4 580s, maybe buy 500s, we know that buyers will continue to take the market up and up and up. And that's just pretty simple for Nasdaq to do. That move is not that big, realistically speaking. But if we stay within 40s, like confined within the 40s, which is 29,440s, that's the 40 I'm talking about, and within the 29,300s, then we probably chop sideways, right? We go sideways, you can trade the bottom and the top and make money that way too. Sellers are still pretty heavy in the market, generally speaking, though. But again, I'm trying to root for the buyers, honestly. Again, I'm not going in with, that's not a bias. It's just, it's gonna be fun to look at, right? We've had like so many days of downside. I want to see at least a 50% retracement to the upside with buyers. So I'm kind of rooting for them, but I'm not biased. Like if I see a good sell opportunity, hell, I'm taking it. I'm not biased. Are you going for the order block at 3-minute time frame for a short? If not, why? I don't see an order block at the 3-minute time frame right now. But like at least the order block that I define. Like again, I don't define order blocks the same way that ICT does. I don't use ICT's concepts. I just call it order block because that's just easy for me to keep in mind, like what the concept of it basically. But I don't see a order block on 3 minutes, so I don't know where to look at. The green between the reds. Oh, you're talking about this, like this candle right here? No, that's I don't consider, that's not an order block for me. Maybe like ICT wise, that's an order block. I don't know. I don't know what ICT says order block is. But that's not an order block for me. Could I give you some examples of order blocks? Yeah, for sure. So here we have a move upwards, right? Before the market had opened up, we had a move upwards. And when market moved upwards, when the market opened up, we had a move even further up. We cleared this previous, you can see the group of red candles here. It could be one red candle, like you pointed out earlier, one green candle, or it could be a couple of green candles or red candles in a row. Anything that makes a pullback, basically. What you want to see is you want to see a move that continues and breaks through and then continues that move upwards before retracing back to it. So example, so we had this move upwards pre-market, we made these couple of red candle pullbacks, then we continued that move upwards back into the trend, right? Now anytime that the market retraces back to this red candle area, that's basically the basic concept of what I consider an order block. I don't obviously blindly take those two. I look at like if there's any like liquidity sitting there when it returns. But even if you took it blindly, like order block strategies, I've been tracking it for a long time. It has a really high like rate of return. Now, again, if someone says like their strategy has a 70% rate of return, they're just lying. No strategy actually has genuinely a 70% retracement or returns over the course of, you doing the math and statistics over like, let's say 7 years or a decade, for example. Yeah, one of the years is going to be like it's getting you 90% returns. Some years is going to be getting you 50% or 60% returns. And it's going to average out to around like 70, a little bit less than 70, typically speaking. But that's the idea of order blocks, right? So you want to look for pullback candles. Now, the candle that you were talking about, if you were confusing what I call order block with what you were saying here with the order block on the 3 minutes, that's not an order block because we didn't continue to move higher past that, right? So we need at least one candle or two candle past that, closing past that, to be able to consider that an order block. And that would be technically it wouldn't be a long order block anyways, but the two red candles behind that would be the long order blocks, if you kind of get what I'm trying to say. That's one example of an order block. Second example of an order block would be this move down. Like we have perfect examples actually today. We had this like really nice move to the downside. We had two of these candles on the pullback, two green candles on the pullback. We continued the move downs to the downside. Now, every time market gets into these order blocks again, which is like on the return here, you can see that we actually reject the market from there. So it's like it works. It works. That's the cool thing about order blocks. It really does work. And obviously if you confluence it with other things, it's amazing. So that's two examples. If you want more, I can show you more as well. We're probably gonna end up using order blocks in the market anyways at some point, so you'll see. Stop out for, like, you're saying stop out for this one, Bob, like where my stop loss would be for this one. For me, like, obviously my methods are completely different, right? Like if you're just gonna draw a blank stop loss and buy, I mean, yeah, I would be stopped out from this trade. Like I'm not gonna hide that from you. I would be stopped out, but like the order block did end up working. That's just what I was just trying to say. But for this specific trade, I'd be stopped out for a little bit of a loss, if not break even, right? So if you actually look at it, the first time we actually touched the trade, or touched that order block trade, we did actually reject on the first green candle as well. We got a decent bit of move out of it, right? Again, and this is a 5-minute candle, right? When you look at it on a 1-minute candle, or even smaller at a 55 tick chart, this is a lot of move to the downside, especially if you're playing minis, not micros. Actually, let me just check how many that is. That is actually from 417, you're going down to about 420, right? The candle closes about at 400. So you're looking at about 17 points of that trade that you can take off, right? I'm looking for 10-point base hits usually. So getting 17 points would be amazing for me. 15 points itself is $300, right? And 20 points would be 400. So if you're getting 17, you're getting somewhere around 300 to $400, right? Like somewhere in the middle of 300 to $400 on just a wick rejection. It's not, and that's not even an overall trend rejection, right? If you're gonna play for a whole trend rejection, I mean, I would have to confluence way more on, you know, I would need way more confluences for me to take a trend rejection off of this order block. I don't do trend rejections. You've seen me. I do scalping rejections, right? I'm not here to like trade for like get stuck in a trade for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm not looking for anything big. But yeah, if you were taking this at face value, that if I took a short here, put a stop above the order block, then yes, then I'd be stopped out easily. Yeah, and that makes sense. By the way, putting stop above that order block does make sense. It's not, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It does make sense. That's a very valid stop out. Okay, that's just honestly just sideways channeling right now, guys. The 320s slash the three, I mean, not even 300s. We're not even holding 300s. The 320s, what we called out as our main actually line, and then we were like, you know, we saw a little bit of liquidity on 300s, and we were like, maybe we get that push. The 320s is what we called out from the beginning of the market as our holding spot, and we're literally holding on to it, literally to the tick, or not to the tick, but you know what I'm saying. To the level, to the nearest level. Yeah, but we're doing that. We're pushing right back up. Question is, do we now contain within the 440s, 420s, or do we push past that on the buying side? Because like that's a very strong aggressive buying side right now. That's aggressive as hell. The question is, like, I mean, this pattern is terrible. Like this bottoming out pattern is terrible now. It's not, it's neither a V bottom or a W bottom or even a U bottom for that sake. It's just a bunch of candles just stopping right there. Those wicks will get broken at some point. So it doesn't make it a healthy trend to go up. That's why I honestly think we just sidelined for a while at this point. I don't know. Bob asks, are there any strats for sidelines like breakouts or scalps between sidelines, or is it generally too risky? There are strategies, and I've shown many of those strategies on streams. There are a lot of strategies that you can use. For example, order blocks is still a strategy that you can still use, but you have to have your expectation changed when you're talking about sidelining, because sidelining is not, first of all, it's risky, like you said. Yes, it is. And second, the expectation should lower because the return is very low on a sideline. When you risk $100 on a sideline, be ready to lose that 100 to just make 100. Typically, that's how you should be thinking about sideline, or at least going into it thinking that way. right? So obviously you want to take a trade that you think you're most likely going to win, but the risk is going to basically be break even on both sides. So it's going to be $100 loss for $100 win, basically, right? So you have to like, you have to be picky how you're going to trade, right? So for example, if I were to take this short from the top of this range, or if I, let's say, for me, like for example, I'm saying like, you know, I think the market is going to contain within 440s. I'm not going to be taking the shorts off of 400 because I know that this is a sideline. The spikes can go to 440s. The reason why I'm saying 440s is because that's where the VWAP is. And, you know, like since the beginning of the market, I've been calling the VWAP and the 220s at the bottom side, or 320s at the bottom side, the two levels that we're going to sideline from. And that's basically what's been happening so far. Right. So I think there is like, whenever you see a, it's like, it's just so like dependent on what it looks like. For example, in this specific sideline, you see one candle that's just going straight up, right? What that tells you is like, if buyers were to take over, this could just snap, right? This could snap. Like there is chances that buyers can actually jump in. Retail traders, or sorry, not retail traders. Retail traders are already in the market. That's why you see this big green candle. But if like heavy traders, like hedge fund traders jump in, you'll see multiple jumping green candles immediately. So you wouldn't want to short that kind of move. Now, if we go back a little bit where we were making like 5-minute candles that are like, you know, wicks on both sides, that's different, right? If you were basing your strategy off of that, that's different. You could put your stop loss above this previous 5-minute candle wick, take the short from the 400s. Again, also depending on how much you want to risk, right? So that's that. And again, for me, it's a little bit different too, because once my trade goes like 6-7 points, funny, 6-7, but don't believe me for that. 6-7 points in my direction, I go break even, right? So most likely I would have been either stopped out for a loss if I did, or a small loss if I did lose that trade, or a break even. When it comes to break even, I would really focus on risk to reward ratio. I would lower the expectations of the returns, not only money wise, but also percentage wise. If you're successful in a trendy market 70% of the times, I would lower down that percentage to like 55%, maybe even a little bit lower, slightly lower than 55% as well when it comes to sideline. But that's why some people just evaluate sidelines to be non-tradable, because it's just too much risk for no reason. Or not necessarily too much risk, but like it's just the return percentage is not going to be anything crazy. Like winning 5.5 trades out of 10 of the trades that you take, it's profitable. It's just not a huge it's not a huge number, right? People are usually looking for winning 7 trades out of 10 trades, right? For example. Do you still use that strat, or are you skipping sidelines completely because the risk to return isn't worth it? I don't have one specific strat for trading the sidelines. I have multiple. I've used, yeah, if you're talking about that one specific strat that I've used previously on stream, yes. I think it's just right now the way the sideline is setting up is too risky. But if I do see a opportunity, I'm not gonna hold back. I do trade the sidelines. I clearly do. Like I've been doing that on the live streams for a while too. Yeah, so I don't skip out on sidelines. Like especially when a sideline has like, I mean, look at this, right? The bottom of the sideline is 320. Top of the sideline is basically 400. You're looking at 80 points on either directions, right? So you can definitely scalp 10 points out of those 80 points in either direction. You just need to find the right place, because if you think the market's going to go down from now, it might not. It might just go against you, right? There's more chances that it will go against you than not when it comes to sideline, right? So what you're trying to do is you're always trying to either buy at the bottom or sell at the top. Like sideline, don't think of anything else. Don't think of ever like, or at least this is my personal opinion, and this is what I tell everyone. Don't think of ever like selling in the middle or buying in the middle, right? So like, let's say if you wanna get a long, try to find confluences around the bottom of the range. not at the middle of the range. So it's a little bit hard. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. But one way you could have done like a short, for example, that I can see right now, but I wouldn't take this. It's still risky, but this is just an example, and it's just roughly kind of setting up. When the market did a move here completely to the top side, rejected this move, and we had a pullback. The next time it went back up, you could have taken a short off of that point of control and put your stop loss above the value area high, right? So that would have been perfect, because that would have been a stop loss above the previous high and above the value area high. So that's two things that the market would have to break for your stop loss to be kicked in. And then you got the move to the downside, right? And you're just scalping away like 10 points. I wouldn't try to scalp more than 10 points when it comes to sidelines. I don't know why my headphones turned off, so give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. But that's just an example. I'm not seeing anything like nice right now, honestly. I'm not seeing anything nice to trade. Excuse me, guys. Bob asks, would you consider the 5 minutes a heads and shoulders? Think of trading it, or are you just strictly using order blocks? Again, like I'm not using one specific strategy. Head and shoulder is not a strategy I use to trade. Head and shoulder is a pattern that I recognize that the market might continue going downwards, right? There's patterns that you can make, there's patterns that occur in the market that you can infer to for knowing which way the market could possibly go, right? Yeah, I do see what you're talking about, by the way, with the head and shoulder. This is a mini head and shoulder, yeah, for sure. But a shorting head and shoulder typically occurs at a higher price level, right? It's not going to be a downtrend, then a head and shoulder, then a continued downtrend. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Head and shoulders is typically going to be the regular head and shoulder. The right side up head and shoulder is going to be bearish, but it diminishes when you're coming from a already trending downwards pattern, basically, right? So if this market was actually going upwards and you saw a head and shoulders pattern, that could actually point to a possible reversal. Head and shoulders is typically used for a reversal. So again, this head and shoulders, the pattern that you're seeing, can give you a little bit of bias that the market might continue going downwards. Yes, but it's not going to be what you're going to be using to trade, literally. Right? So for me, like to trade, I would need to find, like, for example, like you said, order block. I would need to find either wicks that are being like continuously rejected, wicks that have not been tested, because first time wicks touch, they do actually reject quite a bit. Wick fills, then you have point of control, value area, low value area, high strategies. Then you have the actual like liquidity strategy, which is the DOM on this chart. You guys can see the green and the red bar. Bob, hopefully you can see it too here. And yeah, some of those strategies is what I would be using, typically speaking. Obviously there's many more as well. 50% retracement on wicks is also another one. So wick retracement, wick retest, and wick fills. These are three different types of wicks that I work with. Then you have the, you know, the gap up and gap down candles, the ghost gap, ghost gaps, and ghost gap ups and ghost gap downs. What I call ghost gaps and ghost gaps downwards. There's no, I don't think any other trader uses that word, but if they do, I don't claim to have come up with that word. Also, I try not to trade around the VWAP. I mean, there's so many strategies. Like I go down like the whole like rabbit hole of just listing down all my strategies, but I don't use head and shoulder, for example, as a strategy to trade. It's just to create a bias. You know what I'm saying? That is a very, very, very hardcore push by buyers. Oh my God. That is ridiculous. That's not the first time that happened too. Like we had this same style of movement here as well. Like again, this is what I was saying earlier, right? Like we give buyers just a little bit of an inch and they're going to take a mile in this market. That's what it looks like. So if we kind of snap above like maybe 400 and 420s, basically, like I said, like around the 440s, I think I still like consider 440s the better level, but if we can get past 420s at least, we probably see buyers just take over the market at that point. Like I don't think we ever see the downside in this market until like obviously later down the day when it's, you know, actually slowing down. So like guys, just be ready. This could be the bottoming out zone. Bob says, good talk. I got a meeting. I'm gonna head out. Good luck. I appreciate you joining in, Bob. And I appreciate you chatting away. Thank you for joining in. That was Bob, everybody. That was awesome. Snaps. But if anyone else has questions, go ahead and ask. And feel free. Don't feel that you're gonna be judged. I'll try to. In fact, I'll be judged. I'm going to be in the spotlight to answer those questions. I'm willing to. Right, just ask me any questions. I'm gonna try my best to obviously keep it appropriate, but I'm gonna try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. I see nothing good right now, guys. I see nothing good. This could be a market where I just sit on my hands and do nothing. Again, these are accounts that I passed, right? These are 5 brand new accounts with the brand new rules, which Apex, like they released that a long time ago, but I never got those accounts, right? I think it was a few months ago. I made an announcement on the YouTube channel as well. I forgot to make a video on it, honestly. I genuinely forgot to make a video on it. Like I put it on Livestream. I showed you guys everything on Livestream and I should have just clipped it for a video. I don't understand why I didn't do that. I just not in the right mental space. But they did do it a couple months ago. And yeah, it's the first time I'm using their new strategy accounts. This is the end of day trilling drawdown. That's what they say. And yeah, I mean, we passed it in the last couple of days. Unfortunately, they replaced the 7 accounts we did lose. But I was like, let's take this opportunity to, you know, show you guys what my profit or my payout strategy is, right? Like how I get to payouts and how I take out payouts, right? So far, rags to riches, we've been like trying to pass these challenge phases, continue to like, you know, cushion up our accounts. We did that for a while, and you know, it was time to like actually get to payouts. I think this is if not the most perfect way to do it. That candle continues to go up, guys, right now, this 5-minute candle, and it's actually really cool what I'm seeing here. This could be where the buyers take over. Now it is a little bit of a suspicious candle, right? Compared to last couple of candles, we can see that this is huge, so we probably see a pullback, some sort of pullback. Again, I would try not to take a short right now. We are at the what you can consider a breakout point, so just be a little bit careful here. But other than that, like if you do have a specific strategy that you can use to trade this, I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing to do. Liquidity. We are probably going to get a heavy pullback here. Like this kind of, like we have 88 contracts and we've seen so far that typically we're not seeing 88 contracts anywhere, right? So there we go. We just got filled there. 88 contracts would probably pull this back 50% at least of the way down, right? I think 88 contracts is good enough for that, for that to happen in this sideline channel. But again, I could be wrong here because we are at the breakout point. But I will say that I trust is going down 50% first before it actually makes the move upwards. By 50%, I mean it's like 50% of this 5-minute candle. That's what I mean, because that's the move, right? But we'll see. I mean, that pattern is following along. That pattern looks like it wants to go down. But I mean, it's not a trade I'm taking, guys. So I'm not putting my life on it. But I think that is what's gonna happen. And listen, if it breaks out, more power to the buyers. We can actually finally look for a trade. Actually, you know what I should do? I should actually probably go back to full screen the way I like it. Okay. Yep, there it is. We're getting the pullback right now. I would say like it's pulled back to about 30 to 35, maybe 40%. Yeah, it's 40%. I would say now. 50% would be like, I guess, around the 57 level. Or you could get even a heavier pullback actually here. Guys, what do we say? We called it out, right? We're just gods. We're just gods. This is how we predict. Like, listen, I should just follow everything I say, and you know, yeah. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I should not follow everything I say, let alone you guys. So. Is that's a guaranteed 50% pullback? Like, look at that. That's now about 60%, I would say, or 55 at least. Again, so this is a strategy, and if Bob was here, and Bob, if you're listening to this in the future, because I'm gonna leave the VODs up now, by the way, going forward, guys, with all my trades in these new accounts, right? But if you were here, you would see that I used, you know, the 88 contracts liquidity as a confluence to understand that this is probably going to go down. Actually, that's a trade that I could have possibly taken, actually, if we weren't having this huge breakout point almost, right? If we didn't actually go past this previous high and kind of almost broke out. So that's the only thing that spooked me out of taking that short, actually. That's when I said I'm not betting my life on this to retrace 50%, because again, it broke the previous high and it had the momentum. It had all the momentum with the buyers. Not necessarily momentum, but you understand what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of buyers that stepped in on the previous 5-minute candle. And so seeing a continuation when we almost broke out anyways wasn't going to surprise me, right? So I wasn't going to bet against it. So that's that. But listen, it worked out perfectly. If that hadn't spooked me out, or if that didn't happen, that didn't occur, we kind of stayed at the same level, then maybe I would have gotten in. And you know, again, like if I got in, I don't want a trade to already push higher than previous high, because I can't put my stop loss anywhere, right? That's another thing that you got to continuously think. It's a lot of thinking in the market, guys. You get a lot of stray hairs when you scalp trade. It takes a while to get used to it. 29,343 right now. All right, give me a second, guys. All right, back to the bottom of the range. Basically, value area low. Point of control is still at the top of the range. If you guys remember earlier this market, we were talking about how if we don't actually get the point of control to shift to the bottom side before the bottom side breakout, then we're probably gonna just continue sidelining, right? Again, it's just how point of control really works, right? Point of control literally just means where, you know, the most amount of contracts has traded hands within the value area ranges. Value area low and value area high basically is a range of 70% of the most, or it's the 70% of all volume, or 70% of where all volume has occurred is where you would see the value area low and value area high. and that's why it updates over time when you when you see the day progresses and so on and so forth. But point of control means the highest point within that range. If point of control doesn't flip to a single side, that means that not enough buyers or sellers are moving in to continue that trend to that side, right? So that's basically how you can decipher that. Liquidity. 154 contracts. Do we have enough buyers to get that filled in? We do, apparently. It probably shoots back up to value area high, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on this move, whether we continue the move upwards or we go back down to the very bottom of the range, but... Point of control flipped to the middle of the range, guys, by the way. We did have the liquidity there. That was the highest liquidity we've gotten in the entire day so far. 154 contracts. Enough to make the point of control actually switch sides. Or not really switch sides. Be right down, smack down in the middle of the range. What this means is like we're just waiting, like we're literally going to be waiting for a breakout now. Because if point of control is down in the middle of the range, that just literally means that the point of control is telling us that we're going to see more sideline until we actually see a breakout. Like, I mean, what are you doing, market? Jeebus Creebus right now. Let's see if we can get to value area high. The range is about to narrow down, guys. Guys, it just takes one trade. Again, be patient. And especially if you are funded, just be very, very patient, guys. Just very, very patient. A lot of patience is necessary. Like, funded is a whole different level of trading. As much as you can try to be as fair as possible when it comes to trading, you know, evaluation accounts versus funded accounts. You're just a human being at the end of the day. I'm just keeping it 100% real with you guys. Emotions are different. Your hard-earned money is not at risk when you're doing evaluations, besides the fact that you're paying the monthly fees if you are on a monthly reoccurring basis. But besides that, so it's a very small fee to pay for the opportunity to make a lot of money, right? So it just like when you're in the funded level, you're not really making real money. Like you're or not funded level, sorry, the challenge phase. You're not really making real money. In funded level, this is if you lose, you just won't be able to withdraw money, period. And it costs more because like technically you've paid for the activation fee. You're emotionally more attached to it. So don't treat this as a challenge phase account. And I would also say don't treat a challenge phase account as if it is going to be a funded level account. And I say that, and I want to always, you know, kind of say that try to trade your challenge phase account as if it was your funded level account, but it's just not possible. It's not true. It's not true. Math always doesn't math either. Challenge phase accounts, they're way cheaper than when you activate. So you can be a little bit more brutal in those, right? You can be brutal in your funded level accounts. You can be once you get to a certain level in it, right? So once you get to a certain cushion. Right now, we are starting from scratch, by the way. So again, I actually should have probably shown you guys the balance, right? I'll show you the balance at the end of the stream if we do end up making any amount of profits. It's the craziest chop I've seen. This market's got me yawning. Ay caramba. This is crazy. Do we even have juice to go even up to value area high at this point? Doesn't seem like it. I mean, could be nice for us to like start finally trading a tighter range, because you're actually risking less when you're trading a little bit of a tighter range. But you know, obviously trade off the percentage of times you would win probably. We'll see. I'm gonna get this sell a shot here real quick. Stop loss above that wick. One control actually just shifted too. Something like this could make sense to me. I don't know if we get in though. If we don't, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, we're in. I didn't like that at all. Okay. We're out with a minimal loss. That was crazy. That's a lot of buyers kicking in, by the way. It's a lot of buyers kicking in because that flip was crazy. This is why you don't trade in the middle of the range, guys. Yeah. When you trade, again, like I said earlier, when you trade sideline, you decrease the percentage of times that you most likely will win. Sorry. Accidentally unmuted my stream. I could hear a double me. So what I was saying was, like I said earlier, when you're trading a sideline channel, you are trading the percentage, your win rate basically, with a, I guess, actually you're actually trading off both your win rates and your you know, the amount you lose actually. But you can actually, with a sideline trade, you can actually narrow down a lot of your losses even further than a trend, because trend, if you get stuck in a proper pullback on a trend, it could actually destroy you. But I guess like it goes either ways, right? Because what is a pullback at the end of the day on a trend? It's actually like kind of like sideline, right? I don't know, to be completely honest with you. This is why a lot of people think sidelining is garbage. If you have the proper opportunities, and take it. Yes. Let's see. Going back down right now. Value area high. I think we probably go back down into the range, honestly. This could also be a value area high to the VWAP kind of movement. I don't know why I doubt that though. I don't want to give short another try. Up this 410 level that we're kind of like holding on. Just looking for right under the, like 10 points, 20 points here. Out for break even. Again, idea was to go immediately break even, right? And that's exactly what happened. We tried, guys. We tried. We reduced our loss by $10. Something. Alright, pull it back down. Like this is the move I was talking about. But again, like it is what it is, right? Like it's not like unbelievable to see us getting wiggled out before it actually makes that move. And look, our profit target was literally on point with that too. Like we would have gotten our profit target to the tick. Pull back upwards. I mean, just pull back here. I don't know. It just seems kind of weak. He's terrible. Hey, point and control flip though. Jeebus Creebus. Okay. Are we getting some push? Real push? Not mine a. Not mine a long here, actually. Actually, no. What I want to see is like I want to see a pullback. I want to see some sort of pattern, like a wick holding on to that value area high or something, because I can't put my stop loss anywhere. The reason why I canceled that trade, guys, realistically speaking, is because when I tried taking that long, you saw my stop was all the way down here. I'm not going to take a stop loss going from 400 all the way down to 92. That's ridiculous, you know. Or sorry, not 400. 400 and what was it? 415 to 92. I'm not taking a. I don't know how many points that is. I can't think right now. What, 25 something points? I'm not taking that. If we put a wick here, like if we hold with the wick here on that order block, I'd be thinking about it. Okay, we're holding there. We're holding there. We didn't put a wick necessarily, so I'm not going to take that trade, but we're holding. Can we put a wick onto the point of control? That'd be nice, because if we take the point of control long, we could put our stop under this low. Again, like there's no point in forcing trades, guys, here. We semi kind of forced a trade before and look where we are. Right, so. I'm gonna get to the VWAP here now, or seems like it. Yep, pushing towards the VWAP. Broke the previous red candle high. That could turn into a nice order block, actually. Honestly, this pattern though still is so bad. Like, I mean, this doesn't seem like a bottoming out pattern, right? It just feels like this can flip and go down, and this would be a better like downtrend than an uptrend. I mean, this pattern's just terrible. I think I'm gonna follow through with that too. Like once we get back into range, I think maybe shorts. Maybe shorts. It might just be. Under the value area high. Point of control. kind of. Oh, we got some volume there. Spike in the tick volume. I don't trust this to the long side, honestly. I don't. Not until we clear the 40 level that I was talking about, right? 40 would be the VWAP literally, I think, at this point. Yeah, just a little bit slightly above the VWAP by like a couple of few ticks. I'm willing to take the value area high retracement there because this is a double top candle right there, and I think we go back up to put a wick there on the 1 minute. Kind of like it actually. So like something like that basically, I think could make sense. Stop loss could be right below the value area or the point of control. Almost like a 1-to-1 risk to reward here. Oh, we might push into this liquidity here though. That's the only thing that I should have probably seen. Put my stop a little bit lower. Oh, I was gonna put my stop a little bit lower because I wanted to see if I could clear that liquidity. But guys, what can you do? Made a bad choice there because I did not look out for the liquidity. It is what it is. It's live on camera, guys. Like that's just something I just didn't see. And you know, small mistakes like that can actually result in losses. And if you don't have your stop losses placed well and ready, it's just you're trading against yourself. So like that, for example, there we took like a $300 stop loss because there's a couple of things. First of all, we didn't see the liquidity, so it moved past. It did give us a little bit of slippage, but even if we did get filled in for our stop loss, another thing that we didn't realize that we did was that we didn't take the proper stop loss, right? There was no real stop loss to be placed anywhere really. I mean, if I was taking long right under the value area high, actually no, I lied. I mean I did actually no, I do remember now. I did put my stop loss under the point of control, right? That was the original point, and I did do that actually. So sorry, scratch that idea. But the liquidity is something that I should have actually looked at too. The liquidity did have a piled up bar there, and that is what I missed, and that's exactly what basically made us lose the trade there. We got a little bit of slippage too there. How many points is this value area high and the point of control? Let's see, 413 and 400. I mean, that's 13 points. I mean, I don't mind taking a 13-point stop loss. That's completely fine with me, right? As long as it's not getting to the 20 territory, that's when like, you know, past 15 is like something I really consider. So actually, now that I think about it, I'm just being a little bit too harsh, but specifically with the liquidity, I did see the liquidity. I shouldn't have entered that trade. But again, it was just kind of like something that I saw with my peripheral vision, or I guess you could say like, you know, subconscious mind, and just didn't like kind of realize it into my consciousness. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes like you get into a trade and you're like, this confluence probably isn't going to be right? Because that's just something that this just clicks in some part of your brain, and you just can't like manifest that into your proper like you know, proper strategy or whatever you want to call it, proper thoughts in your conscious mind, right? It was just a loss. It's just a loss, guys, at the end of the day. Excuse me. I'm gonna maybe take one more trade, or like, you know, I'm okay with taking one more trade. Like maybe a point of control short could be in play here, because I'm kind of eyeing that already and it looks kind of nice. Point of control short to the downside. I don't want to give it more wiggle room than that wick, and I want to see if we can get auto break even almost immediately. We're moving down right now. I'm trying to scalp a little bit more to the downside. Two trades that basically go in our favor and go break even. I mean, I still like it. It's just I do like it. I'm in it right now again. What was the stop loss? Right above that wick. All right, let's see if we can continue to move downwards. Okay, auto break even enabled already, guys. Let's see if we can continue to move down. Looking for a 55, basically right above the 50s. Makes sense to me, right? Like, you want to get out right before it actually gets to the support level because you don't want to get stuck on the support level, basically. Let's see if we can move down even further. Once we can break that previous wick properly, then we're going to move our stop loss down as well to cover at least 10 points in profits. Let's see. Can you move? We might get stopped out here. Again. Let's see. Again, the stop loss is break even, by the way, guys. So just letting you guys know. Come on. Okay, we get stopped out again. We get stopped out again. The only trade I see that is a little bit better than maybe the point and control trade at this point is going to be like the 400 trade. If we get to the 400 level, basically this wick that we got going on with this green candle, that's the only other trade that I think I'm even gonna like spend energy on. And besides that, this market is like, don't spend your energy in this market, it seems like. Like this kind of makes sense, right? Like if we get this, because you can put your stop loss right above the value area high. You got that like basically 10-point move to the upside for a stop loss. I don't know. Down, like if we get down below point and control, that's also actually a good place. $400. We have this up here. Yeah, this kind of makes sense to me. Like so. Lower it down to just 10 points, in fact. But if we get below the point of control, that could be one last trade that we could be looking for too. Yeah, there it is. That's pretty nice. Stop loss, put it above the bodies there, and see if we can get back down into like how we were trying to aim for before, 54s, 50s basically, but obviously above the 50s because you don't want to fight the psych level. Let's see if we can properly break. We are breaking out. I mean, we're breaking to the downside. Can we get stopped out for a break even again? Are you gonna do this again? Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. Guys, that was basically going to knock me out for break even. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like that, I got lucky not getting out for break even. But again, guys, that does tell you something, right? That what that tells you is as long as you're keeping your risk tolerance in check and you're continuously going break even. Like I've been saying, like one of my biggest strategies is going break even, right? The trade goes 6 or 7 points in the direction, and you kind of just you go break even, guys. Like there's no point in trying to lose that trade at that point. There's literally no point, right? If it's going to reverse on you, you're probably going to end up losing after it goes 6 to 7 points in your direction, right? If you're the same style of trader as me, obviously. This is obviously if your style matches my style. It could be different for different styles, right? But again, I'm a big believer that going break even, or you know, people that say going break even is not a good strategy, I'm a big believer that's a myth. Like go break even, guys. Go break even. But that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Honestly, like I know we're not like positive or anything. I am more than happy to be able to take what, like 5 trades. I was able to take 5 trades in the market and take it safely. Be basically break even on the day. Up or down 200 for me actually isn't even. I consider that break even on the day. We are down 20 bucks on each of our accounts, including commissions, which is coming up to about $22. We are down $43.88 on each of our accounts. Our total account balance right now, by the way, which is something that I will announce, I can't show you right now because I haven't actually hidden the credentials on Rhythmic, so I can't show you the balance directly right now. But the account balance right now, I can announce is $49,956.12. You guys can do the math accordingly, and you can see that that's, you know, what the starting balance was. And that's the balance right now. And that's across all 5 accounts. We didn't get slippage per account. So we got slippage in totality. So we got filled out slippage in our last trade. But that was for all the accounts. So all the accounts took the same amount of loss and the same amount of wins, right? A quick recap, what happened today. We got into a couple of trades. We got into 1 break-even trade, 2 losing trades, and then we got into 1 break-even trade again, and then finally 1 winning trade. And then it turns out that we're break-even on the day. I'll take that on a day that, you know, we're kind of just sidelining and doing nothing over anything else, right? Honestly. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, I'm gonna try to be more consistent with these live streams. It was really good to see you guys again, talk to you. Bob, shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining in, asking away questions, guys. That's what I am here to do, is to answer your questions and hang out with you guys and chill with you guys and trade together, right? So let's make this happen. Let's open this live stream up to all the viewers on YouTube. Join in and see me trade these accounts and take them to payout quality. And yeah, I'm gonna be trading to the truest of my ability that I do in my live accounts that I have with other prop firms and with my business accounts with Apex. But listen, that's that, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, if you again like the video or like the live stream, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on the notification icon, guys, as usual. If you guys want to know when I go live every single morning, and if by a chance I do skip any mornings, you would know that too. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, GG's and peace out, guys.